Hey, I got a question. I have a
Yeah.
question for you. Let's stop very quickly here. In all seriousness, what's going on there in Phoenix? And the Phoenix Suns seem like they are moving probably in the wrong direction where they want to go. Right? They're missing some key players. But from your perspective, Coach, what's really going on there, and how can they right this ship right now?
Well, I think there's an old saying that we used to say, you know, if a major injury to a player, just changes your season. Uh, you know, their whole thing started trending the wrong way with Jay Crowder. This is their He was their Rick Mahorn. He was their protector. When you got guards like CP3 and you got guards like Devin Booker, you better have someone to knock someone on his ass when he takes a cheap shot on Booker. CP3 can take
Hmm.
care of himself. Uh, or even take a shot at Aiton or Cam Johnson, guys like that. They had really good finesse players. And Aiton's a big guy that can really score the ball. He's really developing, I think, and all of a
Right.
sudden, you need someone that can protect him. I don't know what happened there, but I know one thing. When it would be like all of a sudden, if Chuck got pissed off or Phil Jackson would Rodman and he'd say, "You know what? We're putting him in timeout here." Guess what? I'm not a very good coach if I don't have Rodman. So, this is their equivalent of that. Cam Johnson getting a knee injury out, that really
Right.
hurts him because he's a shot maker, six-man type of guy. And now Devin Booker on the shelf for a month with constantly getting this hamstring groin problem. Not a good sign because that's can go at any time. It's not like
Hmm.
having a
Hmm.
knee
Hmm.
sur So I'm very concerned about them. The other thing I'm concerned about is, at 38 years of age or whatever, um, Mr. Paul is, he's playing too many minutes
Right.
because he
Right.
wants to win so much, and that's something that can take effect, not now, not in February, but in April, May, when they're trying to compete for a championship.
Yeah, it's been fascinating to watch them because they went from a team that was clearly over the last 2 years, they've been one of the better teams in the NBA, in the entire NBA. And suddenly, when they lose in the fashion in which they lost last year in the playoffs, it just seemed like it's been a continuous or steady go in the other direction for them, right? They lose in game seven in a way that was surprising, I think, to everyone, to the Dallas Mavericks a year ago. And then suddenly they don't bring Jay Crowder back. There was reports about the handling of DeAndre Ayton in free agency. And then Cam Johnson gets hurt. Then Cam Payne gets hurt. Now Devin Booker is out. Chris Paul has had significant time out this year. And it just seems like things are going in a different direction for them. And they're in a I would say this organization right now, or this team right now, they're at a crossroad um, with where they're at. And the reason being is because of the expectations of the team before the season. I think this is a
When
team that's not expected to get to the playoffs, but to make a run in the playoffs based on their performance over the last couple of years. And it just seems they're in a tough spot right now.
Yeah, you win the most games in the league last year, 64. Phenomenal road team last year,
Right.
and, uh, and then to go through what they went through against Dallas, not even to get to go against Golden State,
Hmm.
very unusual. You and I used to play to have great records to protect home court in the playoffs,
Right.
and we both know that to go win a game 7 on the road, not in the first round, in the later rounds, it's near impossible, I think.
Yes, that's
A
correct. That's
and
right.
for them to go and lose by 30 points or 40 points, whatever it was, to Dallas in a game 7 at home, shocking, shocking.
Yes.
I think when you go through championships like you did in, Chicago and we did in Detroit, I remember Chuck Daly saying to our team one year before we started the season, "The most important thing, guys, this year, the key word is gonna be tolerance." And I'm saying, "Tolerance? What the hell is he talking about?" And that was Chuck. He Tolerance was, for him, tolerance of each other. little things that, get, like, on my wife's nerves. We've been married for 200 years now, and so, things that, she gets bothered every time I, don't do something, but, to be tolerant of your teammates, you're together 100 plus games a year. You're on the road with them, tolerance is the thing. Don't let little shit, upset you, bother you, and I
Right,
think
right,
that's
right.
and 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 so you can't and running the family as a head coach, you can't let the little stuff. These are your kids, and you
Mhm.
have 15, 17 of them, whatever you have nowadays. You're not going to keep everyone happy. They're not going to all be friends with each other. They're going to get jealous of minutes, etc. But somehow tolerance becomes a really focal point.
Yeah, that's a great word, and I think over time, because you spend so much time with one another, that's a great word, great choice of words, and hopefully they get it turned around there because I think it's very pivotal for them, especially with this group, because they don't have time on their side with Chris Paul, as you
Right.
mentioned, and I think it's very critical, and they are at a stage where they are in win now, win now mode, and unfortunately, it hasn't gone their way.